Hello everyone, Fanta here, and you are watching Fantavision. Today I'm discussing a topic that quite a few people have been wanting me to rant about for quite a while, and that is GameStop trade-in. Just like how bad their trading credit is, how bad the system is in general, stuff like that. And I know the meme is you just bought a new game and you get 50 cents back. That's to kind of be expected. I get that they give way too little for those brand new games that you just bought, but personally, I've never really run into that problem because I take forever to beat a game. Unless I'm reviewing it, I don't really try to stretch it out for as long as possible. I just kind of have gaming ADD. So when I buy a new game, I will usually open it, play it for a couple hours, play it with whoever wanted to play it, and then go back to playing whatever I was playing before that game came out, or just play something completely random because that's what streaming does to me. It just kind of fuels my gaming ADD. And because I've never really had this experience of wanting to trade in a brand new game, I don't understand why you would. Like, who's beating games so fast that you're running into this issue that you're only getting $40 for that game? I don't know. It's funny though, because I've actually usually done pretty well with GameStop trade-ins. I usually either profit from it or I break even for about what I paid for it. And examples of that are like the Plants vs. Zombies loophole, where I bought it brand new for $20. I bought a couple other games, and then I took advantage of the trade-in deal that was going on. I don't remember what it was specifically. I think it had to do with a certain number of games you traded in, and the trade-in value of that game was just so high that I was actually making money. I think I made close to $200 in profit from buying brand new games and trading them into GameStop. So most of the time, I'm taking advantage of the different deals that they have going on. And if you're not, then you shouldn't be trading in your games. If they don't have any deals going on at that time and it's just base whatever they're giving for trade-in, don't do it. Don't ever trade in anything at the base value, because you are getting scammed. They do give you as little as possible, but with just enough incentive to make you want to trade it in. So what I do is I wait for whatever deal they've got going on, and then I exploit it to the max. Like, for instance, right now they have, just to keep it accurate, extra trading when you trade in towards Detroit Become Human, Dark Souls Remaster, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, and State of Decay 2. And these have been games that have had this deal applied to them for quite a while. So what I normally do when they do this kind of thing is I will trade in all of these things, and then I'll put $5 towards that game. I'll get that extra bonus percentage, put all of that on my card, and then just cancel it later. So that way you still get that 40%, and you didn't really have to actually pick up a game or actually keep the pre-order on there. There's no explicit rule saying that you have to do that. And if you're picking up that game anyway, there you go. Just take advantage of that deal. But for the love of God, do not trade in a game unless there's some sort of deal going on. I think I traded in No More Heroes, I think was the name of the game. It was like that Nintendo Switch game. It was like $20 when it first came out. It was just awful in my opinion. And I barely ever played it. So it was like, I don't usually trade in games that I only have one copy of. But I was like, I'm never going to play this game. Whatever, I'll trade it in. Because they were giving like $13 for it. And then they gave another $5 for any Switch game you traded in. So I spent basically $2. I lost $2 in that transaction basically. And that's it. And then because I buy so many games with Gamers Club Unlocked, which is unfortunately leaving, I get games for $48 when they launch. So if I were to trade it into GameStop right afterwards, I would have only lost about $8 before tax. So when people complain to me about what they give for trade-in, yeah, you're right. For a lot of games, they give you crappy value. I just don't trade those games in. Find another outlet. don't accept the crap they're going to give you. Like, especially, for instance, with Battlefield 1, I was just curious to see what it traded in for. They're giving like $2 for it. I mean, they're falling right in line with the cliche of them giving you nothing for the game. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to trade it in. I was just kind of curious to begin with because the new one was announced, and I'm like, I didn't like Battlefield 1. Maybe I'll trade it in towards the new one so I can at least try the beta out to see if I like it, and then not buy it at GameStop because Best Buy, I still have the Gamers Club unlocked, and they give you that $10 extra gift card, making the game about $38. But they give them $2. I'm not going to trade it in. I'll keep it, and I guess I'll play the campaign in the future if I'm super bored or something. That's the thing, though. I mean, there's another game that I am probably going to trade in, and that was, I don't know, I might hang on to it. Disgaea 5 for the Switch. I got that for $20 on Black Friday, and it trades in for about 18. You do that 40% deal, there you go. You're pretty much at, or a little bit above, what you paid for it. So if you kind of do it that way, you wait for a certain deal, the trade-in prices do fluctuate. Like, for instance, I bought Rainbow Six Siege way back when everybody was hating on it, including myself, but my roommate picked it up, and I think it was like $10-15 at the time, and right now it's trading in for like $13. So with that 40%, I'll either break even or I'll make a profit. And that's what I do for trade-ins. And it also works out for when I find games like Halo Master Chief Collection, which for some reason never dropped in value, even though the online just does not work and the campaign still glitches sometimes. But it still trades in for like $18 last time I checked. I think I traded in my copy. I think they were doing like an extra 50% or something like that towards some game. And I got like $25 or $30 trading. I think it traded for like $20 and then the extra 50% brought up to 30. It was something ridiculous, and I spent like $1 on it at like Goodwill. So there's certain games that actually they're still giving a lot of credit for that are really surprising. And that's normally because either the price has never dropped on the game, or for some reason the price of the game goes up, which is such a rare thing, but I'm starting to see it happen a little bit with certain games. Like I said, Rainbow Six Siege. The reason that is still trading in for so much is because the base game spiked for some reason. It's now selling, I think they sell used for $37 for Rainbow Six Siege. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, it's a Ubisoft game. There's like 2 or 3 years of expansion passes, and you're supposed to like buy the newest one, and then they came out with an advanced edition which comes out with certain stuff, and I don't know, it's a Ubisoft game, so it's convoluted as fuck, and I have no idea what's going on, and I'm not gonna buy any of your stupid expansion passes. So I don't know, weird. It's weird. I'm not even mad about trading credit most of the time. I'm just kind of confused by it a lot. And then if you see that it's not the right value for the game that you want to trade in, just don't do it. And I know that's kind of a, well, no shit, Fanta, but a lot of people are really pissed at GameStop for what they give. And I mean, it's understandable. You're not going to get your full, value back when you buy a brand new game. And I think it's bullshit. They only give you $30. But usually when it's down to $30, sometimes they'll guarantee it for like the first month or 2 weeks or something like that. They'll give you 40 because they really want to get people to trade in their game so they can mark it down to 55, and then the idiots that buy it, I don't get why you buy a used game, $55, just buy it new. Don't give GameStop money. So they get that $15 profit because you traded in for 40 and you bought it for 60. So looking at about a $20 profit there because new games they get about $5. So I understand why they give 40. It's bullshit when it goes down to 30. I mean, they're going to mark it back up another $25. $25 profit, that's crazy. But then you got to think about it. That doesn't mean they're going to sell all of those games at that price point. So as that game is sitting there on that shelf, it's going to start going down, down, down. And so you just got to, once again, take advantage of those percentages. So like if they're only giving you $30 and it's not some stupid fucking promotion like they do with the $40 one to prevent you from doing all those crazy loopholes and actually driving the value back up to what you should be getting, If they give you $30 for the game and it's still a pretty new game, just use that 40% extra or 50% extra, and you'll get about what you paid for it, or at least a little bit closer to it. So you really just need to trade with a lot more strategically. You need to trade strategically. And if you look at your collection and you buy a lot of games like I do, especially dirt cheap, or you see them going on like a flash sale, or they took a game that was really expensive, they marked it really low for a while, and then it went back up just like Disgaea, and hasn't really dropped very often, you can usually make money in the end, especially with those loopholes and those percentages. So you really just got to pay attention to what is going on with their trade promotions, and just never trade in a game that doesn't have any, like, if there's no promotions going on, don't trade in a game. I don't care if there's a newest game coming out. Why are you buying it at GameStop to begin with? Don't trade in a game towards it. And I know for a lot of people that's very difficult because they can't afford the newest game. And to that, I guess, say wait, have patience. A lot of games I've noticed will, after the first probably like month, it's usually around 2 weeks to 2 months, it'll drop from 60 to 40. And I see this happen with a lot of games, even popular ones. I mean, Destiny 2, which hasn't even been out that long on the PC, is already $12. Call of Duty World War II, it was like a month later, maybe a little bit less, dropped to $40. So these games are always going to go on sale. Most of them don't hold their value unless it's a Nintendo game. So if it's a Nintendo game and you want to buy it day one, it's probably going to sit around that price point for a long time. Especially if it's only if it's a first party Nintendo game. Like the Rabbids game, the Mario Rabbids game did do the drop. It did follow that like that kind of routine schedule of games dropping in price after a certain amount. They follow the pattern. That's what I was trying to get to. But they follow that same pattern that most games follow. But if it's a Nintendo game and it's got Nintendo emblazoned on the box and it doesn't say any other company, it's probably going to hold its value for a very, very long time. Surprisingly, Hyrule Warriors for the Wii U held its value for so freaking long. And that wasn't even like a first-party Nintendo game. But it did have Nintendo-based characters, so I guess that's why it held on for so long. So, unless it's Nintendo, wait. That's all I can say. Be a patient gamer. I normally am, except for a few select games, or if I want to do a review, or if the game's cheap enough, and I'm dumb enough to pull the trigger, like with State of Decay 2. Oh my god. I'm probably gonna do a video on that, just because what a train wreck of a game. I haven't put enough time into it to give like a full verdict, but first impressions are not good at all for that game. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Trade strategically, pay attention to the promotions if you're gonna trade stuff in. Yes, it's bullshit that they give you so little, especially look at how much it trades in for, and then look at how much they sell it for. That shows you about how bullshit it really is, but a lot of it also has to do with stock, which is probably why Battlefield 1 is worth so little, because they probably have like 1 billion copies that aren't selling. So pay attention to the trade-in prices. They do fluctuate, and pay attention to the different percentages of trade-in bonuses, because that's where you really are going to start finding a way to make profit, or at least get close to what you paid for the game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like the video. If you liked it, comment down below about one of the stupidest trade-in deals that GameStop's trying to give you for a game. Just tell me a crazy trade-in story. And of course, subscribe for more content. And as always, everyone, have a Fanta-tastic day. See ya. I didn't do the intro in the beginning for what I'm drinking because it's not Tales from Retail. It doesn't follow the same formula. It's a little bit different. I'm drinking Leinenkugel Grapefruit Shandy. It's a wheat beer with with honey and natural grapefruit flavor. I love Leinenkugel, even if it's not like one of their shandies, if it's just like an ale or something like that. It's just, I don't know. It's a really refreshing beer pretty much every single time, and I like it. It's really good. Yeah, I'm surprised how many people are really like. I get the meme. I even made a meme, which I'll put up right now, about how shitty GameStop trade-in is, and it's like I said, it's not terrible. It makes sense why they do it the way they do, but it's also, I don't know. It depends on the game. It's really depends on the game. And of course, if you're still watching, the podcast will be going up this Saturday. So tomorrow, podcast episode number 1. If you've been a patron, you've had access to it since Monday. And thank you for funding it. Seriously, it was just a ton of fun to do, and I hope everyone enjoys it.